What I need you to do is put your hands behind your back, okay? Being placed under arrest for DUI and vehicle manslaughter, okay? All right, go ahead and have a seat. Step up. You can go to that door over there, okay? Watch your step right here. Go ahead and stand in front of this door. You can go in, we're going through that right door.
Gonna go to booking 3 right there. All right. Here you go, man. Go ahead and have a seat. Go ahead and make your call.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Ramirez. You go and have a seat, please. For sentencing for the second-degree murder of Nicholas Obregon and for causing permanent paralysis.
For a really long time, I've watched him play sports. He grew up with Leah.
At an early stage of proceedings, as he understands the mistake and decisions that he's made. Not only are the lives of 2 people over, Mr. Obregon and Ms. Fernandez, Ms. Navarez is paralyzed. And the defendant, my client, Mr. Ramirez, his life will never be the same either, including his own. We would ask the court to consider that based on his age, his lack of criminal history, his deep remorse for what he's done, and accepting responsibility, we'd ask the court to consider that in sentencing him and give him leniency.
Thank you, Ms. Lisenby.
For minimum of 8 years in prison plus 30 years to life before the defendant can even ask for a parole hearing. With that, we would submit it to the court.
41 years to life. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I stand corrected. I forgot about the additional 3 years.
Thank you. All right, I would note that Mr. Fagundes is correct. In the state of California, the standard does not require an intent to kill. I do not, for one moment, believe that. Henry Holiday, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, produced numerous commercials emphasize the dangers of driving while under the influence of alcohol. He chose to drink and drive. Drinking until you're under the influence, getting into a car, which is simply several thousand pounds of steel, and then speeding on a public roadway can only be characterized as a callous indifference and disregard for human life. And the harm that they have caused both to the individual and to society as a whole. Some are positive, some are negative, but every decision has a consequence. Had you chosen to drink and then called a cab or an Uber, apparently those other minor consequences were unacceptable to you. That was too much of an inconvenience. Instead, the consequences of your decision to drink and then drive was the death of Nicholas Obregon and the death of Alejandro Fernandez. Nicholas and Alejandro will not be attending college. They won't be marrying anybody. They won't be having children. They won't be raising a family. They will no longer feel the sun on a warm spring day without due process. Leah Holguin, with her facial laceration, I cannot find that that would be justice. I cannot find that that would be consequences appropriate to your conduct. For the second-degree murder of Nicholas Obregon in count 1, I sentence you to 15 years to life in the California Department of Corrections. For count 3, the violation of driving while under the influence causing injury, I sentence you to a consecutive term of 3 years in the California Department of Corrections. I sentence you to additional 3 years. Those consecutive sentences mean you will serve 41 years to life in the California Department of Corrections. You, sir, will be 59 years old before you can ask for a parole hearing. Please remove the prisoner. With that, court is adjourned.